got my traveling clothes on, so you know what that means. We're getting ready to go on another trip right now. After the last trip, I thought we'd be taking a bit more of a hiatus. 3 weeks later, here we are, heading out again. This time, our destination is Bar Harbor, Maine, and we're gonna go visit the Acadia National Park. Here we go. We're excited to be back out on the road and taking our Scamp to new places. We traveled through many of the southeastern states and west as far as Nevada. Now it's time to head northeast to New England. So we're through Maryland now and we're gassing up. Not sure how far we're gonna go. We're not going all the way tonight. Somewhere we'll stop. I think we'll get past New York City and then figure out where we'll stop for the evening and then finish up and head in there tomorrow. That's the plan. But right now, yeah, we're in Delaware. Traveling at night is never my favorite because you miss out on a lot of great scenery, which for a road trip is half the fun. But when you only have a few days off, it's nice to get a good head start and maximize your time. Alright, so I'm just sitting here filling up at the Connecticut Welcome Center. Got into Connecticut about 15-20 minutes ago. This is the first for me. I've never actually been in Connecticut. I think we're actually going to stop here and rest for the night. I'm going to walk around here, maybe use the bathroom and see. Maybe I might even grab a bite to eat. So let's see what this place has. So the McDonald's was open at that service center, so Dawn grabbed a few snacks for us to eat. We are gonna catch a few winks here. You know, it's well lit. There's a bathroom right here. It just seems to make sense. We're only about 6 hours away, like I said, so you know we're in a very good spot. So, all right, time to take a little nap, and we'll pick it up and carry on in a little while here. But for now, good night. We've only been Scamp owners for a short time, and before that I had no experience pulling a trailer. Now I started off very nervous, but over time I've grown much more comfortable. I mean, you always want to be safe and realize that's back there and pay attention to what you're doing, but I'm just much more at ease these days traveling. Here we are passing through the capital of Connecticut, Hartford. Sun's finally starting to come up, so we're getting some scenery, getting my first real look at Connecticut. As I mentioned before, I'd never been here, so we've been driving for a few hours actually. We got up around 5 o'clock and it was darkness, so I didn't really get to see much, but you know, the sun came up just in time to pass through Hartford, so we could see what that looked like, and that was pretty cool. Next up is going to be Massachusetts. I don't know if we're going to encounter anything before then that we're going to stop and check out. Enjoying the ride, and looking forward to see what's coming up next. Massachusetts now, that's 6 states down, leaving 3 to go, and it's just a bit after 7, so we're making great time. We got about 300 miles left. So far everything's going according to plan. Let's hope it keeps on this way. All right. Being fall time, we could see the change in foliage as we made our way northward. This would continue the farther we went. A little bit after 9:30, and we just passed into Maine, so that's a pretty good time. We're gonna walk up here and see what this welcome center has to offer us. I appreciate the highways and the amount of ground you can cover in a shorter time, but I do prefer the smaller roads where there's better scenery. As we got closer to our destination in Bar Harbor, I began to see what they call lobster pounds. Now, everyone knows that Maine is famous for its lobster, but I never heard that term, and I've learned it refers to the enclosure with circulating water where they're kept alive for sale. We got camp all set up and we're rolling out now. We're gonna go hit up the visitor center. It's 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Visitor center closes at 4, so we're gonna try to catch that before they close and gather some information. We might want to do some stuff tonight, but we're here till Tuesday morning, so we actually have 2 full days at the park, so that should permit us time to see quite a bunch of stuff. The campground we're staying at is called Hadley Point Campground. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. When we first pulled into our section that we're in, which is section D, I was skeptical because I looked out and I saw the larger RVs out in the middle, and I thought it'd just be one of those wide open type of areas, but fortunately they have some slots sort of tucked up in the trees for the smaller campers, which we have one of those. D20, it's a good spot. It's going to work out well for us. They do permit fires here, so they came and hooked us up with a fire ring, so we're good to go in that regard. They have showers, laundry facilities, everything I think is gonna meet our needs. So yeah, let's go check out this visitor center and see what kind of things we'd like to try to do with the time we have. right, so we stopped and that was the first viewpoint on the Park Loop Drive. So we just got here and we went to the visitor center and we're gonna go ahead and do that Park Loop Drive. I think it's about 27, 28 miles, I think they said. I think our goal is to orient ourselves so that, you know, some of the things we think we want to do, you know, we know where it's at. But yeah, here we go. Let's check out this loop. Admission into the park is $30 for private vehicles. Of course, if you have an America the Beautiful pass, this is covered. So we botched our first attempt at the park loop. We were supposed to turn left at one point to begin the one-way section, which really truly begins the loop. It's okay, you know, we make mistakes and we're not in a hurry, so we'll go check it out right now. Beach is the only sandy beach within the park. It's a beautiful area. I'm sure the water is very cold in the summertime, but probably could do some swimming then. In the fall, it definitely just wasn't happening. Thunder Hole is an awesome area in the park. It's an inlet carved into the rock, and when the water comes in, it makes a thunderous sound. We had a good first day in the park and we learned the layout of the Maine area in Acadia National Park. The scenic drive is great, providing incredible views throughout. After leaving the park, we got our first look at the Main Street area in Bar Harbor. I guess I didn't do my research very well because I was very surprised by how cool the town was with a lot of good shopping and restaurants. We knew we'd be back later in the trip to walk around and enjoy some good food, but for now we were ready to head back to the campsite and relax for a little bit. Good morning. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sunday morning here in Maine. Got myself clean. I'm all rejuvenated, ready to go for the day. I'm gonna go to the park right now. It was a beautiful day and we were ready to do some walking, so we headed towards Jordan Pond to do the trail which loops around the pond. pond has some of the clearest water that I've ever seen in a natural setting. It was absolutely incredible. While the walk around the pond is light and easy, if you head up the side trail towards the bubbles, it is a little bit more strenuous with a little bit of scrambling involved. The camera does not do it justice, but the views from the top with the water in the distance are just severe. Alright guys, so we're coming back down from the South Bubble Rock Summit. That was sort of a side trip we hadn't planned on. We were doing the Jordan Pond Trail, which is itself is just a moderate, easy loop trail going around the pond. About three miles. About midway point, there's a trail that connects to the Bubbles parking area. It was a bit of a climb to get to the top, and a little bit on the knees, but the views were worth it, and I'm very glad we did it. But yeah, heading back down, we're gonna do the second half of the Jordan Pond Trail right now. The second half of the Jordan Pond loop, if you're heading in a counterclockwise direction, is a lot more boardwalk. Well, we enjoyed that hike around Jordan Pond Path and a little side trip up to the Bubbles. It ended up being about 4.5 miles. It took us about 4 hours. It was a good hike. We really did enjoy that and highly recommend the Jordan Pond and Bubbles hike in Acadia. Obviously, I wasn't going to come to Maine and not eat some lobster. Now this place here sells lobster ice cream. I tried it. It was good. I probably wouldn't get it. I'd probably get something else. It's kind of like a novelty, but it didn't taste bad. Good morning. We had another night of good sleep in the Scamp, and today is our last day here in Maine. We got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of things we're gonna try to knock out. It's pretty ambitious, but we're gonna see how much we can do. And on top of that, we're trying to get back fairly early tonight, I think, so we can have a nice dinner at camp and a good relaxed night. Plus trying to get to bed kind of early. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up, so let's go get it. this is my first time in New England, and you know what I saw was basically what I'd imagined it would be, with the small towns and just the feel. It was very much like something out of a picture. We came to check out the famous Bass Harbor Light Station. Now this view right here is actually my favorite view of the lighthouse. The more famous view is that from the rocks below, but there are a lot of people in this crowd and I really couldn't get out there to get the famous view that everyone's looking for. The gardens were cool. It was a nice, easy stroll. They had different sections showing the different types of terrain and landscape. Main part of the park, and now we're in Bar Harbor. We're about to do this hike. It's pretty interesting. It's a bar island, which is usually separated by water, but during low tide, the land bridge is exposed and you can walk to the island. It's available an hour and a half before and after low tide, which is at 3:40 today, I think Dawn said. So we're here, it's about 1:30. Looks like it's not quite there yet, but you can see some land coming up, but we'll have to wait a few minutes until it's fully exposed, and then we'll do this hike. And looking forward to this. Never done a hike quite like this before. Alright guys, so that's the first view from the first overlook driving up to the top of Cadillac Mountain. This is the summit road here. We just drove to the entrance station a minute ago. You actually have to buy a pass and make a reservation in order to do this drive. It's $4 to buy the pass plus a $2 service charge, which you know, they don't actually do anything. You don't get anything. I don't know why the whole thing isn't just a $6 service charge, but whatever. They decided to break it up that way. But anyways, so Cadillac Mountain, it's the biggest peak in the park. It's the highest peak, I believe, on the Atlantic shoreline here. And you know, it's most famous for being the first sunrise in the United States, so people always try to buy sunrise passes to get in the park, and it's very crowded. I don't like to get up early anyway, so that was not something we were into, but we do want to see the view from up there, so here we are. It's a 3:30. It's pretty quiet, but yeah, let's go check it out. Leaving the Cadillac Mountain summit right now, and I gotta say it was worth every penny I paid for that reservation pass. You know, this is one of the coolest things I think we've seen. The views are just out of this world, and if you're here in Acadia, you gotta do it. You know, pay the $6, don't even think twice. Definitely check out Cadillac Mountain. The plan was to head back to camp and have dinner there, but we said screw it, let's go get some more lobster. Alright, so we're back here at the Scamp. It's our last night here. We had a great day. We actually accomplished everything we planned on doing, amazingly. Usually it doesn't work out that way, but somehow we worked it all in. We got a long drive tomorrow. Gotta get home, gotta get back to work. We're gonna get a good night's sleep and get started heading home tomorrow morning. Good night. So we had an awesome time visiting Acadia National Park. It's just impossible for me to rank or pick what my favorite national park is, but I gotta say, Acadia is very much up there. It had a lot of great scenery, and the hiking opportunities are just great. It's a one-of-a-kind park that we definitely recommend checking out. Just a couple days in the park is cool and you can get a lot done, but there's definitely more to do, and I think Dawn and I will be back there at some point. There's another area in the park that we didn't get to check out that's about an hour away driving time, plus there's more hikes that we'd like to do eventually. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit that like button and subscribe to follow along with our Scamp travels. And if you do subscribe, hit the alert button to keep up with their new videos as they are posted. Thanks again for watching, and keep tuned because scamps like us are born to camp. Alright, later.